Hey everybody, it's Laurie Blomer here. It is Sunday, September 22nd, 2024, and as of 8:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it's now fall. So happy autumn equinox. Welcome back for those of you who've been following along. For those of you who are new to watching these videos, welcome. I like to pull a card at the beginning of the week just for the purpose of spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. I like to call it a helpful lens through which to observe your life's experiences for the week, for the purpose of spiritual growth, and also for the purpose of just becoming a better human being. And I pick whatever deck I feel compelled to use, feel drawn to for the week. And this week I'm going to work with a Rider-Waite Tarot. It's kind of the classic tarot that most people think of if they've ever seen an image of a tarot deck. It probably came from the Rider-Waite. So I'm working with an oldie but goodie, 78 cards here. And I've been shuffling. So that's going to be my focus here, is always to choose a card that will be helpful for my spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration, and helpful for anyone else who's watching the video or reading the email that it's going to be accompanied with. So here we go. I'm going to pull a few from the middle because I do that. I always shuffle until I feel like I've really connected with the energy of the query. And yeah, this feels ready. So I'm going to split the deck, and whichever one my thumb is on is the one we're going to go with. It's this. And the card is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, many of you heard the expression Wheel of Fortune, of course, from the famous game show here in the US. But that's where the Wheel of Fortune, the phrase Wheel of Fortune, the name of that show, actually comes from tarot. Now, you'll notice this is one of those cards in tarot that is very rich with all kinds of religious symbolism from a variety of belief systems. There are Hebrew letters on here. There are images representing Christian saints here. There are images that also come from the Egyptian ancient religious belief system. And there's also what looks like a compass in the center. Actually, that sort of center compass reminds me a little bit of the Native American medicine wheel. So it draws from a lot. Lesson number 1 in tarot, you can have a blast with the symbolism. There are many, many books out there that will unpack symbolism in the cards. I don't want you to get hung up on that today. I want to tell you what this card is about. It's a wheel, as we know in life. It continues to roll forward. Well, it's from the Major Arcana. It's card number 10 in the Major Arcana. In the Major Arcana, those are cards 0 through 21. The ones with the Roman numerals on the top. They look a little bit different than the 4 suits. But in those cards, those are kind of the biggies in tarot, the major milestones, the major crossroads. The 4 suits of tarot are sort of kind of like the supporting details. So when a Major Arcana card comes up, it's kind of a big deal. But there are 2 cards within the Major Arcana that have to do with movement. One is called the Chariot. The Chariot has to do with my own hard work, determination, due diligence, pressing on, persevering. In other words, I'm moving forward. I'm making movement in my life and progress based on my own hard work, my resourcefulness, my intelligence, my training, all that stuff. The second card of the Major Arcana that has to do with moving things forward, it's the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune has much more to do with sort of synchronistic events or serendipity. It may mean there's been a drag on the line, but suddenly things open up and start moving, where the log jam just finally moves. So it really has to do with good timing and fortuitous timing. So when the Wheel of Fortune moves forward, is because divine timing is really saying that it's time for that to happen. Again, you can unpack the symbolism. I could spend a lot of time just talking about the different symbols on this, but I'm not going to. I want to focus on the key message here, which is something moving forward synchronistically. So what can I take for inspiration? That means something likely in some aspect of my life is guaranteed to move forward. And it may be the smallest thing, like finding what I need in the grocery store quickly and easily. It may mean I've been waiting to hear back from somebody and finally I get their response. It may mean that check that you've been waiting for in the mail finally arrives. But it's not something that I can will into motion. It is something, however, that I can remain attuned and open and observant of. So I would say one of the issues of ways to get inspiration or reflect upon things in your life is to think about, how can I kind of keep my eyes peeled for those sort of synchronistic moments where timing is right? Things move forward because there's an element perhaps outside of my control that has facilitated it happening. That could be by actions someone else takes, which results in actions that you benefit from, or it could be, again, other outside circumstances. But I would focus on, well, that's what I'm going to focus on. I respect that you should honor whatever jumps out to you intuitively as you look at this card. And however that speaks to you about your week and what you know is coming up. But for me, for the purpose of inspiration, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for where those log jams start to move. Here's the other thing about the Wheel of Fortune. It means good timing. So if the opportunity is there and a door is open, consider going through it. So you might also look at it from that perspective this week and say, a door is opened. From a Wheel of Fortune perspective, that means this is right timing and a good thing and generally fortuitous. Go through it. At least look through the door and see what's there, because it might be this is the time to act on something you've been waiting for. The time's finally right to take action. That's exciting. All right, Wheel of Fortune is our card, and I wish you an inspired week. Thanks for watching. My name is Laurie Blomer. My website is laurieblomer.com. My email address is laurieblomerpsychic@gmail.com. Would love to work with you. Would love to hear from you. And I hope you have an inspired week with all kinds of log jams giving way to great things for you. Thanks again, and happy autumn equinox.